going on, world? Brian Wright here, and you're now tuned into the Brian Wright Radio Show. First of all, I want to say if you're taking the time to listen to me, I just want to say thank you, and that I hope this message can bring you a lot of value and make you think in your mind and plant a seed in your mind of something that could make you think and challenge yourself and challenge the world and challenge others to the point where you change your whole life and your whole perspective on life, and it makes you want to go to heights that no one's ever imagined or no one's ever done in your family or any of your friends. That's what I do this for. So today's topic is going to be idle mind. An idle mind is literally the worst thing that you can have, because basically a mind that's not being used is a mind that's being wasted. I want people to think about this. We have these same brains that famous people have, innovative people have. I don't care who it is. It can be Elon Musk, it can be Amazon, it can be whoever you can name. We all got the same thing in common. We all have a brain. But you know the difference between their brain and yours? Your brain is idle while their brain is engaged. It's crazy how nature works. It gives you all the tools you need. Your brain is one of the most powerful things ever seen by mankind. I want you to take the time to actually think about everything the brain has done. The brain has sent rockets to the moon. The brain has, you know, went down deeper than the fishes could ever go in nature. The brain has conquered the world, has built civilizations, have took us from the Stone Age to the tech zone that we in right now. It's given me the ability to record a video, and instead of paying for major radio, all I gotta do is upload this online. Like, the brain is so powerful, yet so many people treat it like it's just something that they just, okay, I'm born with a brain, so what? If you're saying that, then your mind is definitely idle. And this is what I noticed about me. It's like when I'm engaged with things and I'm using my mind, it's like I'm on track. I'm not doing stupid stuff. I'm not falling down no rabbit holes when it comes to pornography and YouTube and stuff like that, because my mind is engaged. I have to say, I have to get these videos out now. This is something that is in my mind. And I go to school at the same time. And I was talking to my homie, and I said, man, this school stuff is really stressful at times. But then I thought to myself, I said, well, on the flip side of the coin, what would I be doing if I wasn't in school? And honestly, I don't know. I would probably be employed somewhere. But if I didn't decide to be employed, I would just be sitting around with my thumbs tweedle, my thumbs going around. That's it. My thumbs just going around. And I'm just on my phone all day. Everybody knows somebody like that. On their phone all day. Their mind is just getting fed junk after junk after junk after junk. They don't have any goals. They don't give their brain nothing to work towards. I just said that the brain is the most powerful thing that a human being has ever been born with. And people use it for small stuff like just going to the refrigerator, going to their jobs, playing the video game. And ain't nothing wrong with playing video games, but I'm talking about like you ain't doing nothing but playing video games, reading Facebook statuses, reading Instagram statuses. This thing has been used to do magnificent things, but instead you rather choose to do the small things with it. If they was able to do big things like that, and I'm not even saying that you got to send planes and stuff to the moon or anything like that, but what I am saying is that you have to use your brain. And most people, if you put a math book in front of them, You put a book in front of them that's bigger than Bernstein Bears, that's big, it ain't got no pictures in it. They don't want to read it. They don't want to read it at all, because you know why? Because it's too complicated. People. I love when people say, um, I read something and then right after I read it, I don't remember it, and they act like it's something that that just happens, and it's like, no, bro, it happens because you don't do it often. If you do it often, you'll remember it. I used to be like that too. It's a lot of people that say stuff like they got reading problems and they got speech problems. And I remember I ran into this guy one time. I'm not going to say his name, but he was telling me that he had a speech problem. And I told him, I said, bro, I'm listening to you talk. Yeah, your grammar isn't amazing, but you don't have a speech problem, bro. Like, words are coming out of your mouth. Your problem is that you just don't practice talking. And when you don't practice talking or communicating, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be a bad communicator. But where did he get that from? Where did he get it from? His mom told him that. His dad told him that. So guess what he did? That's what he focused his most powerful asset on. How he had a speech problem. And that's what majority of us focus on. The poverty that we see. We don't ever think about how to get out of the poverty. We just think about the poverty all day long. And I can guarantee you one thing. What you think about is what you become. And what you think about is what you manifest in this world. So you might want to start getting your brain on other things, because your brain, think about it. Your brain knows how to drive your car unconsciously. I know you done been in the car before and you zoned out, and you zone back in, and it's dangerous to do. Don't do it. But I'm just like, I've done it before too. Like, you zone out, but you still driving, and you thinking like, man, how in the world did I get down the road? Because your brain is programmed to do that. Your brain is programmed for you to wake up every morning and go to the job that you go to, like clockwork. Your brain every day tells you to cut on the TV and cut it on, and you can dial through multiple channels. Your brain tells you to surf the web and to type things in on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. You can do it. Your brain tells you, your brain is everything. And people treat it like it's absolutely nothing. And if we don't begin putting our brains on the things that we want to achieve, we're going to never achieve them. Like, it's crazy the things that you can do when you put your mind to it. We hear that all the time. You can do anything you put your mind to, because you know why? Think about it. Before there were airplanes in the sky, somebody thought of it in their brain. And then a telephone, somebody thought of it in their brain before they brought it into the world. Everything that you see around you, I want you to take the time right now to look around in your room or wherever you are, or whatever you're sitting in right now. That came out of somebody's mind. So you know what that tells me? That the mind can think of something and then bring it into this world that this world has never seen. I want you to dwell on that. Like really absorb that. Like, don't just, like, really think about that. The mind creates things. And think about it. When they said they wanted to put a plane in the sky, what did people say? Ha, you crazy. You ain't gonna ever put no plane in the sky. Put this man in the crazy house. They did it. Next thing you know, man, you can't do no wireless telephones and have a phone calling people and stuff like that. You crazy. They did it. Hey man, you can't have no television where you shooting from one room and then it's in a bunch of people's living room and they sitting there watching it for entertainment. They did it. I really, really, really want people to start seeing the significance of this stuff. When I meet somebody, right? This is how I know somebody doesn't have control of their minds, right? When I meet someone and they say one thing, but they do another. And then they'll sit there and they'll tell you something else. And that perfect example, you know, I want to save money. You ain't saving no money, but you think that something's going to happen, you know, that lets me know that you don't have control of your mind, because if you did, you would know I control this asset. It's only going to happen unless I do this. The brain comes up with steps and plans in order to execute on something that you want to do to change your life or to change the life of others. But most people ain't got. How many people have you talked to? And the next thing you know, the things that they talk about, the things that they tell you, you ever been like, this person really isn't using their mind. Like, they'll say something off the wall. They'll say something crazy. They'll tell you something and they don't even know you sometimes. They just met you 5 minutes ago and your personality is so cool, they just feel like they can share whatever with you. And the next thing you know, they tell you something and you just like, this person really doesn't have control of their mind like that. But that's majority of people. They don't have control of their minds. That's the reason why they can't put the drugs down. That's the reason why they can't put the games down. That's the reason why they can't put the pornos down. That's the reason why they can't stop chasing men. That's the reason why they can't stop chasing women. That is the reason. That's the reason why people get in trouble. Because of their minds, the way they thinking. And you know what? An idle mind without a task. That's why I feel like everybody should set goals and put your mind strictly on those goals. And you say, you know what? Nothing else is going to get into my mind. The only thing that's going to get into my mind is these big goals that I have, because I want to prove that the brain is powerful. I want this channel to do very well. And I'm going to put my mind to it that it does. Because I know the mind is powerful. You telling me that somebody put a rocket in the moon. We're now driving electric cars. They starting to come out with robots. We all seeing it on social media. They starting to come out with robots. And you telling me that I can't have a successful YouTube channel? You know how small that is compared to that? You telling me that I can't have a successful music career if I put my mind to it and I focus on just that? And I cut out all my distractions that it's not serving me, because I realize that these goals are way more important than temporary fixes now. People kill me with that. Oh, you'll never do it. It's just like, no, you'll never do it because you don't want to use your mind. People would rather die than think. Most people think when they just sitting around and they daydreaming, that's thinking. But let me change your mindset on what thinking is. Thinking is when you come up with an idea, you get emotionally involved with that idea, and you act out on that idea until you manifest it into the world. That is thinking. Not just sitting around and just daydreaming. Not just reciting back what the teacher says to you. That's not thinking. That's having somebody else think for you. That's how you know somebody's a thinker by what they create. Look at it. Look at all these franchises around us, McDonald's and all that stuff. That's somebody that thinks. They think about operations. They think about making money. They think about how they can buy more real estate. They thinking about all that stuff. And you sitting there thinking about a drink, a smoke, a girl, a guy. You sitting there thinking about some of the most basic and carnal things, and there's people using this asset in their minds to build empires. Now, an idle mind is so dangerous because anything can get into an idle mind. And we all got our vices. We all got those things that get into our minds. We've all been in those states to where we was doing something we ain't had no business doing, and our minds was stuck on it. Whether you was messing with somebody, doing some kind of drugs, watching porno, whatever, your mind gets stuck on that kind of stuff and you can't resist it. And you have to, you let it get into your mind and you just keep watching it. You just keep watching it. And then next thing you know, you don't even know who you are anymore. That's how it go. Because you know what the mind is here to do? Establish identity. That's what the mind does. And the people that use it, they establish their identities. Jeff Bezos, who you think about? Amazon, established identity. 50 Cent, what you think about? Rapper slash movie producer. Tyler Perry, film producer. Oprah, talk show. Michael Jordan, basketball. These people are building an identity with their brains, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. But guess what you can't do? You can't build an identity because you're not using your greatest asset. And that's your problem. And that's why things are never going to happen for you unless you use it. You have to use your medulla oblongata. I think that's what it's called. You got to use your head. And you better be glad you live in America, because this is the only place where using your head can get you out of a situation that you're in right now financially. You can come up with any idea you want, and you could change your life and change the whole world. But guess what you got to do in order to do that? You have to use your mind. You got to start planning goals in your mind and stop letting him and them and they get into your mind. Stop letting the TV tell you what to do. Stop letting the Kardashians tell you what to do. Stop letting these red pill people, blue pill people, all these people talking all this stuff. They're the ones that's feeding your mind. And they're putting their identities on you. And you lack identity because all you do is just watch their channels. All you do is just do what they tell you to do. You don't ever think about it. But now is the time to think about it. So I just want to say that a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And an idle mind is the devil's playground. Get you some goals. Get you some dreams. Put your mind on it. Write it down. Look at it every day. Focus on it. Act towards it. And watch what your mind does. Watch what it does. I think you'll shock yourself. Earl Nightingale called it the strangest secret in the world that most people don't even know about. So, I hope this message gave you a lot of value. I hope this message made you think. And I hope you'll look in the mirror and say, go ahead and do it. You know how I do it. This is the last day that my mind remains idle. From now on, I'm going to keep it packed with goals, with books, and with dreams on how to get to the next level. You know the motto, no distractions until rich. Let's level up.